Welcome to ClubhouseNews.com. You're tuned in to Clubhouse News Weekend for the week ending Saturday, September 26th. I'm Skylar.
And I'm Norvell. Pope Francis, the revolutionary leader of the Catholic Church, made his first trip to the USA last week with a whirlwind tour of Washington, D.C., New York, and Philadelphia, where he talked about peace, climate change, and helping the less fortunate. The Catholic leader arrived in the USA after a brief stop in Cuba, where he encouraged open dialogue between the two nations, who officially reopened diplomatic relations and embassies this summer, thanks in part to a year behind-the-scenes talks with Pope Francis. During his visit to D.C. from September 22nd to the 24th, the Pope's action-packed schedule included meeting President Barack Obama at the White House, addressing a joint session of Congress, and holding the first ever canonization mass or saint-making ceremony on American soil. The Pope also exchanged gifts with Obama. The president gave him a dove sculpture that included a piece from the original Statue of Liberty and a 206-year-old key from the home of Elizabeth Ann Seton, the first ever native-born American to be canonized. In return, the Pope offered a bronze plaque commemorating the 2015 World Meeting of the Families in Philadelphia, which he later attended. After D.C., the Catholic leader headed off to New York City for a meeting with the United Nations General Assembly during the organization's 70th anniversary and held a multi-religious service at the 9/11 Memorial Museum. Then, the Pope jetted to Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, in Pennsylvania. There, he joined the World Meeting of Families, a gathering that celebrates the family as the main building block of society. Then, he said farewell on September 27th, traveling back to the Catholic headquarters in Vatican City, located in Rome, Italy.
Republican House Speaker John Boehner apparently saw the light after the Pope's visit to Congress because on Friday he said he'll be resigning. See, the USA's government is split into three branches: the legislative, lawmaking branch, the law enforcing executive branch, and the law judging judicial branch. Half of Congress is the Senate, with 2 elected senators per state, and the other half is the House of Representatives, with 435 voting members, based proportionally on state populations. Whichever political party holds the majority gets to pick the House Speaker, who is second in line to become president after the vice president, if anything happens to them. Boehner has held the position since January of 2011, after Republicans won majority in the 2010 midterm elections. But he's had a lot of difficulty controlling the more conservative Tea Party members. When Pope Francis addressed Congress last week, it fulfilled a 20-year dream for Boehner, who comes from a big Catholic family and was an altar boy when he was younger. He cried during the Pope's visit and was overjoyed to spend one-on-one time with him. Boehner will officially step down as Speaker at the end of October.
Another important guest came to the USA this week as Chinese President Xi Jinping made his first official state visit to America. Jinping is the General Secretary of the Communist Party of China, elected President of the People's Republic in 2013. Although China has elections which seem democratic on the outside, their government has absolute power over its citizens. This kind of government is called an authoritarian regime, where political influence is concentrated in a way that doesn't really let the common people have a say. In fact, speaking out publicly against the government is highly restricted or punished with police intimidation. As you can imagine, this has created friction with the USA, since we value liberty and justice for all. Another source of trouble with Beijing, the capital of China and a center of power, is that Chinese hackers have targeted Western governments and companies. They've stolen billions of dollars information from hardworking corporations whose legally protected ideas and unique inventions are being robbed via cyber warfare. Since China's economy is a big cog in the wheel of global trade, competing with America for the #1 spot, there are a lot of business and political ties binding us. During his visit, Jinping met with leaders of megatech giants like Microsoft and Facebook in Seattle, Washington, where he got an earful about China's unfair business laws and practices. Then, he headed to Washington, D.C. for cyber espionage talks with Obama at the White House. Jinping, of course, claimed that Beijing doesn't condone all the hacking. He ended his visit with an inaugural address at the 70th United Nations General Assembly, serving as chairman of the first session.